Welcome to our mock block informative speech. We are going to talk about pros and cons of virtual learning, as well as the possible applications in language learning processes. Our courses were based in Introduction to Statistics, Descriptive Statistics. We are Jessica Melendez and Monica Meneses.
To develop this speech, we have 5 main structure or points that we are going to follow. The first one refers to the general course information. Secondly, the main aspects concerning the experience of being in a virtual classroom. Thirdly, to make a reflection on virtual education, and finally, its possible applications in language learning processes.
Okay, so let's start with the general course information. First, we will find some prerequisites on the course. We need to have a really good comprehension of English. We need to use our really good skills. And we have also to know some basis of arithmetic because they were going to provide some examples of it. And they were going to give you some initiative learning of arithmetics.
This virtual classroom has equipment and supplies like computer and internet access that the student needs to use every time he or she needs to follow or advance in the course. Also, it has forum discussion boards and wiki available to interact, to explain, and to develop the general aspects of the course. Thirdly, supplements such as videos and slides. The second part of the general course information refers to the course structure. The course is 5 weeks long. The second aspect is the way in which teaching and instruction is provided. That way of teaching is supported by video, slides, and online texts, where teachers explain in certain way to students what is the content of the course. Next, the peer support is provided via forums and discussion boards at the end of each segment to share and exchange ideas about every part of the course. The materials distribution is divided into 8 sections. Those materials are lectures, problem sets, and exercise sets. The solutions and keys are going to be provided the next day. The due date is over,
and finally we find some grading aspects. First, they had some due dates, which means that they started on Wednesday, and the final day to complete the exercise was the next week on Tuesday. There were some percentages that they managed. First, there was the set of exercises had a 50%. The midterm, which was in the middle of the course, had a 20%, and the final exam at the end of the course was a 30%. The people who had more than 35% of the course completed, they received a certification.
As you can see on the left, on the right part of your screen, there is the structure of a week. This is the example of the first week. As you can see, it has the beginning at the end of the week. This example, it started on February the 20th and finished on February the 26th. As you can see, in this 1 week, we have 2 sections. Each section has different topics lectures and contents that are concluded at the end of each section by an exercise set in which is specified the due date. As you can see, all the due dates are on February the 27th. So we have 1 week to fulfill all the requirements of each section. Talking about the main aspects that concern the experience as students on virtual classrooms, we have the five main ones. Autonomy consists on learners needed to be able to take control over our own learning to be successful, not just in class but also to learn independently without a teacher outside the class. It involves interest and discipline.
Then we find the possible types of interaction. They were mainly two: synchronous and asynchronous. That means that the synchronous was a chat in real time where the teachers and the students were having a conversation in real time, as I said. And the asynchronous, we have a communication via email or e-groups where the students they don't work online at the same time, but they have some interchange or chats with the teachers.
Now, as students, we experience the different tools we have available in terms of forums, chats, discussion boards, lectures, also different advice on how to use software, and in conclusion, all the technological tools that are available on internet to develop the activities.
Following, we have the availability of time. This course online are able for the learners to complete the exercise in the time that they have for this course. This means that if you're doing something else, you have 1 week to complete the exercise, even 1 day before the due date.
Finally, the experience showed us the interdisciplinary work that provides the chance to interact with different people from other faculties and with different professions.
Okay, so now we are going to talk about some reflections that we found on this virtual education. We have three main aspects, starting by generalities. We found that this is a worldwide tendency. Many people have been using this technology to have a new learning process. We also found that some people have found job opportunities due to their interaction with other people's and speakers, learners. And finally, we can help our students to develop an 21st century technology skills. They are going to be able to have a new learning process and a better one.
Some pros or advantages of virtual education are choice, because you have the chance to select the course that you feel more comfortable with. The access, because you can find different institutions or courses that are not available in your city or probably in your country. Location, in the way you can work at home, at work, or it doesn't require to have a specific location to develop the course. Pacing, many online education programs allow pupils to work at their own pace and rhythm. Time, because all the activities, explanations, and resources are open to the public 24 hours, 7 days a week. Then the flexibility refers to the flexibility for students who have other commitments or to belong to other faculties, and it doesn't matter if you are studying in another field of science or education. Also, it has the advantage of costs, because most of the times they are for free, and if not, they are much cheaper than university programs.
Finally, some drawbacks that we have is that it is highly dependent on computer and internet. If you don't have a good internet access or computer that have the necessary tools, you will have a really hard time to complete the task. Then we have a limited interaction where we can have some talk with some few people of the course. There are so many people taking this online virtual education, so this is really hard to have to meet everyone. It is necessary to have real experience. This is only theoretical and is lack of practical experience. Then we have a low professional feedback or monitoring. That means that the teachers that are in charge of this education, they won't be able to provide feedback to each student. And finally, it requires a more initiative from the students because they need to look for programs that are out of the curricula and programs that are available online or certain schools.
In conclusion, we have some possible applications in language learning processes and in teaching and pedagogical challenges. The language learning processes in which the virtual education could be applied are because of the usage of English language skills, since they have to read, to produce text, and in many cases to listen to conference, and they have to have a certain level of English that is going to help to fulfill all the activities, and also that could help students to improve their language comprehension and production skills.
Finally, in the teaching and pedagogical challenges, this means that the teachers need to assume a new pedagogical techniques to help the students to have a new learning process and a better understanding of certain areas of subjects. Finally, this will help to teachers, students, and probably administratives to overcome the resistance of using technology. This is a new challenge that teachers and everyone has to the new learning process.
Thank you.